My name is Mohammed Radwan. I'm a senior LM consultant at Marvel LM. Today I will introduce DevMagicFake and how it works. DevMagicFake is a mocking framework that represents the persistence ignorance of Double and how we can simulate the other layer in development. This video part of publishing my old videos on our community. We'll create the project, MVC projects that will use DevMagicFake. We will name the project Try DevMagicFake. Internet application template. We will go to the master page and start adding the links for our tutorial. 2 links, create vendor and vendors. The first link, the form that create the vendor. The second one is the list of the vendors. Not working, of course. We'll go and stop debugging and start creating the class library that will hold all the business classes that we need. We have to name entities. If we don't want to name entities, we can change this in the configuration file. We'll delete this class, we don't need it, and creating our business class. In this case, we'll create vendor class. We can create student, professor, whatever we need. We'll change the access modifier to be public. Enter properties. The main important property, of course, it's ID, and enter any property else like name, email, address. We'll save. We'll start to add reference from the MVC project to the entities class library. We will build the whole solution so we can use strong type views. We're creating the first controller, which is vendor controller. We create the first view, which is form view. It is strong type based on vendor entities. We'll choose scaffold, create as a partial view. We'll create another view that partial this form view, we called create view. It's not strong type, of course, and we will reference the master page. It has the links. We'll partial load the form view of the vendor. Now, if we run the application, we can see that create vendor now available. We'll close, stop debugging, and create the index view. The index view will based on strong type vendor entities, will not a partial, will not reference a script, it will list scaffold. This view will display all vendors. We'll go and add links, start copy the DevMagicFake itself to our projects. So in our project, the MVC project, we will add reference DevMagicFake so we can use its functionality. Now we can use DevMagicFake in our projects. I will open the vendor controller and start calling DevMagicFake methods. So I create fake repository of the type that I want to use. In this case, it's vendor. Because I want to display all vendors in the index page, so I will call the method getAll and pass the list that return to the model, so it will display all the vendors exist in the application. If I run the application and open vendors, we can see there is no vendors exist, but the page is running now. Stop debugging and start create post action method, which will save the vendor to DevMagicFake. We'll remove the collection to be vendor objects, name vendor. We'll start creating an instance of fake repository of the vendor because we want to save vendor. Then we will call save method, which will save the vendor to DevMagicFake. And then return the index page and pass all vendors exist in the memory, in the DevMagicFake actually. If we run the application and start creating a vendor, we can see here that the index page start displaying the created vendor. As we can see, this is the second vendor created. We'll stop debugging and start using another feature of DevMagicFake, which is generating data. We'll create an instance of fake repository. We don't actually need to create a vendor because we didn't want to generate data for only vendor. We want to generate data for all classes in the class library. If we run the application, we can see that the data is generated. It's randomly generate data. If we refresh the home, because we put in the home page, we can see here that many data has been generated for the vendor class. We can configure how the data generated. As we can see here, that we use range, we use the class name, the property name, the name that we want. We use vendor, email, and give it range for email. We can use property only and data type if we want. So it has many different configurations. For more information, you can visit Complex. You can see here that the data generated based on the configuration file that we used. Data is not permanent, so we need to make this data permanent. So we will open the global XX page and start calling the method binary deserialization and binary serialization at the start and the end of the application. We'll go to the vendor and add serializable attribute so we can serialize these classes. All the classes. We'll stop the development server, run the application again, open the vendor page. We will see that the vendor still exists. If we open the file, we can see memory.db binary, which is the file that holds all the classes and all instances we worked on. If we delete this file, we remove all data from the memory of DevMagicFake. This is a sample tutorial of DevMagicFake For more information about DevMagicFake features and configuration settings and tutorial, you can visit 2 clicks for DevMagicFake. Thank you.